At this point, you can see that I have way more than 10 to work with. And that's actually my recommendation. Cut out a lot more samples than what you need for the text. And then lay it out on a page and start to see where the pieces fall. Is it light? Is it dark? Again, I mentioned in the previous one that your quote darkest element may in fact be white text against a black background. The Bella Hadid and the plugged text here are running towards the darker side. The elements that, in my opinion, are becoming the lighter ones are the body copy against a white background, the small text against white, in other words. So even though I'm not going to use all the pieces I have, this is my starting point, and you can sort of scoot them over to the side and then have a working area that you're putting the elements into, and you can start to arrange them. And again, cut out twice as many as you need, and then get rid of the ones that you decide in the end that you don't actually want to make use of. Some of mine are kind of duplicated. I don't really know that I need all of the ones, definitely that are kind of the plain text, but that is my jumping off point. So I'm trying to, I think interestingly enough, the part, and I don't know if you can read any of it, doesn't really matter. Visitors to Minnesota have, I don't even know what it's all about. But this one to me is the lightest one, even though this text is slightly larger than the thing below it, because there's so much space. And that white space is contributing to the overall impact. So I might make that my lightest. The next block of text could be that, or I don't know, that technically is slightly darker, but I don't know that it's a big enough jump. And since I'm only trying to do 10 of these, that's probably a little too subtle. So I'm going to keep working with this, and I got rid of the one that was sort of unnecessary. I've got a group down, and I'll keep arranging them. At some point, you can decide where perhaps a subhead would go. This one looks lighter at the moment because, again, it's got more air in it, more spacing, and that contributes to the overall impact of it not being darker than this much smaller text that has less space around it. So not sure I need that one. Do I keep this one? And if I do, does it go above? Because it is bolder, but it is got more white space. So that's kind of the concept. So if I do keep all these, it's going to be in order kind of like what you're starting to see here, and I would just keep adding and adding and adding and deciding where pieces do and don't go. Just as an example, some of these where I have light text against a dark background, even though it's not particularly large text, got kind of some low contrast happening here. So this one becomes much darker, certainly than some of the other ones. It's going to go more along the lines of this grouping, and I do think I'm going to get rid of that subheading one. This could possibly go there. This one, I don't think I need it. It's too similar to a couple of the others, so I just keep getting rid of pieces and seeing where they go and what's needed. Where some of the questions come in is where does low contrast text against a not really dark background goes. This might be mid-range. So if I'm trying to start to add some colored elements in, I'm going to start to do this kind of thing where I'm figuring out maybe, I think that one's just a little bit too tall. So don't forget, you can always trim to make your pieces fit a little bit better. So keep your scissors out so you can work towards something along these lines. If you've got some large text that isn't super dark, figure out where that fits in there. Maybe it's sort of there-ish, and then just keep working. I'll show you the final version when I get done, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of that process. And the best way of figuring out if it's working is step back from a little bit and squint and see if anything jumps out at you, as in it's sort of creating that grayscale, and then boom, all of a sudden there's a piece that shouldn't be where it is. This one, for example, right now in mine, isn't where it ought to be. That designer word was in the wrong spot. It was breaking the flow that I think is starting to happen. It's better further down where I've got it now relative to where it was previously. So again, I'll let you see what the final version looks like as an image, but hopefully that gives you some idea of how you put together the pieces that you cut out.